You go live. Oh, there it is. Now it's live. Now you gotta do it again. There's a huge delay on your end because that already played. You're muted. So there's a huge delay because the intro played before you went live.
Oh yeah, no, I think I just pushed live late.
Yeah. So the
All right,
intro
we
was
live now.
the intro wasn't there in the live.
All right, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna keep going. So this is sort of like the reboot, everybody, of season 2 of this, and yeah, we working it out. We working it out right here. Um, but hi everybody, it's been some time. It's been quite a bit of time, um, and we're glad to have you back. We are. Oh man, let's see.
Like, do
June,
you want
June,
to
June,
start?
and June and July. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to think about where it is. June and July were crazy busy
Mhm.
months. I don't know if I have been that busy in the past like couple years. Like honestly, it's crazy, you
Yeah.
know. But anyway, we're getting back into it. I literally had forgotten which account was the which account did the live, and so I was on here in a whole different account, being like, "Why in the world is this thing not working? What is going on here? Why are you trying to tell me that my account exists that doesn't exist?" It was nuts, man. We had COVID for almost all of July,
Right.
and because it just kind of moved through the whole fam, like bam, 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 one person. So we did like a stair step. So everybody only had it for probably like about 10 days or so, but the 10 days overlapped. So it turned into almost 30 days. It was nuts, man. It was nuts. But we're good. We're good now. About to get back into the flow of life. Kids starting school next week, all that good stuff. But yeah, it's just been that's what it's been. So yeah, how about you? What's been going on with you?
First, welcome to the Way Love Goes podcast.
Yes,
If
yes.
you don't know,
Welcome everybody.
that's what's going on.
That's what's going on.
I am Tierra Monique, and he is
Don
Don.
Deezy Deloise.
COVID may have scattered the brain a little bit. It tends to do that. But on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
end, there's been I did graduations, so I'm not sure
Graduations.
if we were on here after my son graduated, but
I
my
don't think
oldest
we were because my wife
son.
graduated too.
Okay. So my son graduated from high school. That was fun. He got his first tattoo. That was
Hey,
fun. Uh, it was interesting and fun at the same time. I ended up not getting mine. I said I'm gonna wait a little bit
were
longer.
you guys planned it all out?
Well, he had a tattoo that he wanted to get that was his father and I did not approve of. So
Oh,
it was like,
oh.
let's find something else. So he got something else, and it's pretty cool. But I think it set in on the way home. He was like, "Oh, I'm just realizing that this tattoo is going to be on me for the rest of my life." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
I said. That's why I said you need to make sure you pick something that you're gonna like. Like you're gonna. It's
Unless you got a gang of money to
right.
have an artist readjust it and turn it to something else.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's been going on, and just still school's out, but work still goes, and then that's what's going on the whole time. And then school's about to be back in session in 2 weeks.
I feel
Um,
like it was nothing. I feel like this
yeah,
was the fastest summer break ever I've
I
had.
know, I know. So I mean, I've been having a good time. I've been going to birthday party get-togethers and hanging out. with family and friends. I got a physical trainer. I hired a physical trainer.
Hey,
So I'm
nice.
investing in myself. Um,
How's that been going?
well, I just started yesterday. So, well, not
Okay.
yesterday, not yesterday, 2 days ago. So it's,
Hmm.
yeah, I woke up a little sore. I felt very energized though afterwards. I was like, yes, I got a physical trainer. And so, but, mm, so right now I'm just going to do once a week
Uh
and see
huh.
how it goes. And but everything that he taught me, outside of the things that you can do on equipment, I can do at home. So
Nice.
I've been implementing the things that he taught me at home. It's just that his weights, of
Hmm.
course, are heavier than my weights because I get the weights where
Hmm.
I feel like I can do it. So I may
Right.
have to
Right.
do some heavier weights, but for the most part, I'm having a good time with it. So
But
I
I hear that sorry to cut you off.
you're
I
good.
hear that form is like the first thing before you want to start getting into the how big your weights are. The form is like the thing. That's what I've
Right.
been hearing.
Right. Yeah. That's why
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah.
like to do too much of a heavy weight because I can feel my hand and everything just moving all over the place because it's so heavy. So in order to,
Hmm.
stay
Yeah.
straight, not, yeah, I like the lighter weights, but I can feel it. I mean, I can feel it. We did some abs. We did everything that first day. We did abs,
Oh yeah.
thighs, legs, back, shoulder. We did it all. So shout out to Terry for True to You Fitness.
Shout out
He
Terry.
took care of me and another lady who was there. So we had a good time. So I'm looking forward to next week. And I got back on the dating scene again. I got back on an app for like 2 weeks and was like,
Hey,
oh my gosh, nothing has changed. But I mean, but
that's
you know what? Yeah.
everybody's
But I
still the
met a couple
same.
of people. I met a couple of people and had some good drinks and dinner and some fun. So we'll see. I'm not on there
Dude, this is
anymore. I do like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and I get off. So it's like if I meet you, I meet you. If I don't, I don't.
I'm done.
that's just
Yeah.
that's
I'm
just
just
how that
glad
is.
people are more like that before, like a while ago, it used to be like taboo to be on these things, and now everybody's like, "No, it's cool. We on here. We out here. We doing it." And
Yeah,
I love the stories where people are posting that they met, and then their life built up in this. It's the same
yeah,
as if you would have just met somebody outside. So
right.
yeah, that's good,
Hopefully
man.
soon I'll have that same story. I'm like, oh yeah, I met him on here, and now we're just doing this and we're doing this and having a good time. I think
Yep.
it all depends if the person you meet has the same intentions as you. Because if they're just there
True.
to play around, then it's like, But I think those
Yeah.
successful stories are two people who had the same goal, the same intentions. They were serious about meeting their partner and having someone to do life with. So when you find someone like that, then it's important, and then for them to be consistent as well as you be consistent in getting to know each other. So
Right.
yeah, so yeah, so that's it.
Yes, man. I this is so before we get on our topic today, I
Gotcha.
just been so what I've been doing and just trying to like stay up with the world since I was like quarantined in my house the whole time is I've been looking at a lot of Instagram Reels
Oh yeah.
and YouTube Shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And I am like the level, and I'm sure this has been happening, but because of social media is just like more aware, but the level of dudes flying girls out is
Got
ridiculous.
flued out.
And the girls are playing these dudes because the dudes only want one thing, and that's the one thing the girls is not trying to give them. After they are taking the flight and whatever else the dude pays for, I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh, this is getting crazy out here. This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
if I got one message to all dudes, it's Stop flying people out. Like, get to know people. And if you want to, if you can't find nobody in your city, get on a dating app and meet people that way. But don't waste your money, because I'm telling you, I know what's gonna happen. One of these stories, right now the stories that get posted is just like the dude and the girl arguing. I don't know if you've seen the one where the guy drops the girl off at the airport, but he took away her flight. He canceled her flight, and
No.
they were arguing in the car. Yep, they were arguing in the car, and the girl was like, "Yeah, that's ridiculous. I can't believe you're acting like this." It's like, I think you could believe that he was acting like this, even though you're not willing to, give him
Right.
what he wanted. That's fine, but you don't act shocked now. But she was still about her business. She was, because before she got out that car, she said to him, "Just give me just make sure you give me the confirmation number." She's like, I got to get my business," and he was like, "Oh, you don't understand my pettiness. There is no confirmation number. I canceled that flight." And so she was
Right.
mad. That's like, man, well, at least he brought you to the airport. You ain't gotta worry about that trip. At least you're there. You can figure it out from there, I guess, and then get on your flight. But sheesh, man, that's what the stories are now, and hopefully it don't end up later was like, yeah, I got her in the basement. She tied up. She thought she was getting out of here.
Yes.
Nah. I don't get what I want. You don't get what you want, which
You
is
want?
life. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So it's getting nuts, man. Get guys, date safe and responsibly,
Right.
and let's hopefully you don't have to. Hopefully you get some good relationships. You build that trust, and then you won't have to worry about what we talking about today. Uh, so we can go ahead and get into our topic, which, if you're looking at the title, you already see it. But let's get into it. Can you? This is the question we are talking about today.
Right.
Can you handle the truth?
Right.
I wish we had that soundbite. You can handle the
Handle
truth.
the
That'd be
truth.
good. Yeah. We talking about lovers' secrets, man. Like,
Mhm.
what can you handle? What can you not handle?
Right.
Yeah, man, we're finna just get into it. But I guess just before that, let's give our shameless plug.
Right.
We trying to build this thing up.
Right.
We need you to tell your
So
who. What
like,
is it?
share, subscribe. Oh, tell
Hmm.
your mother, tell your sister, your brother, tell your friend, tell your enemies and your frenemies to like,
Hmm.
share, subscribe, and follow and comment below the Way Love Goes
Hmm.
podcast.
See the little ticker
We
down there.
right. We are a relationship podcast. It talks about everything relationship. D is married. I'm divorced and looking to be married again. We both have a lot of experience in relationships. So we are just here not as experts, licensed experts, but as
Right.
experts in our own experiences in our own lives. And we want to help you all. So tell
Hmm.
everybody and like, share, and subscribe. That way you'll know when the next time we have a video, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be live.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
not gonna give you a set day yet, but
Yeah, we're working
hit
it
it.
out. We
We're
just
working it
free
out.
flowing right now.
Right. So hit that
Yeah.
notification bell so whenever we go live, you'll know, and you can go ahead and tune in with us and join the conversation on each topic that we have each week. There
That's
it
right. That's
is.
right. And if you're watching it not live but later, you can still comment on it, because we go
Right.
back and we'll still come through and comment and talk, and it'll probably end up on one of our later episodes. We'll be like, "Yo, John 3:16 warrior was telling us of, was telling us about the evils of online dating, and here's what we have to
Right.
say about that." Yeah. All that good stuff. Anyway, so yeah,
Right.
so please join us. We trying to build this community. We got 8. Shout out to the 8 homies that's with us at the moment, and we gonna build from there. You dig?
Hello.
Hello, 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 hello. All of you. We got you all there. And don't worry, we got, Tiara Monique is our professional, so she's gonna keep us, structured. I'm here as well. So yes. Uh,
It's happening.
we're gonna keep it going. But let's go ahead and get into this topic though. Um, can you handle the truth? Can you handle the truth, people? Um, yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot to go off. Tira, why don't you jump us on in here, and let's begin to process this topic.
Uh-oh, something happened to my screen here. I'm lost.
Oh
I disappeared. Did I disappear?
no, I
I
see you. You
disappeared.
there? I see you.
You
I
see
see
me?
you. I
Oh,
see you.
okay. I don't know what
Hmm.
happened to me. What happened to me?
Yeah. See, this is
Yeah. Um,
this is the little technical stuff that we're working out, getting back into the groove.
it made me disappear.
That's what
But
a
okay, so
hiatus will do to
yeah,
you.
right.
But you there? I can see you. Don't
So
worry.
you see me? Okay, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So can you
See you.
handle the truth? Lovers' secrets. So first,
Mm.
let's go ahead and define what is secrets and what versus privacy. So secret versus privacy and relationships. So I got some information from marriagemissions.com and a also from a YouTube channel by a licensed marriage and family therapist. Her name is Jen Seep or Sipe, Seip, and a culmination of both of their topics and information. I put them all together and it says this: secrecy is the withholding of info or information that may have an effect on the well being of the partner. This effect may be financial, spiritual, physical, or mental, against the rules, and will cause harm or damage to the relationship and can be used to mislead. So anything that will be used to harm the relationship and can be misleading is a secret, or anything that's kept that's not divulged.
Mm.
Privacy is the withholding of info concerning yourself, the disclosure of which would be of no benefit to the partner and which you do not wish to share. So privacy is acceptable, so secrecy is not. So secrets are, you got another child somewhere, that it's like any information that can affect how you and your partner will continually move in a relationship, whether it's going to break y'all up or if it's going to keep y'all together. And so privacy is more as like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom, I need some privacy. Or I need my own quiet time with God, so I need my privacy. Or I need
Mm.
to go change my clothes, I need privacy, or anything like that. I need a meet. I have a meeting, so I need my privacy. I have
Mm.
a Zoom meeting, a Microsoft Teams meeting, anything like that that is about you that has nothing to do with your partner. So changing my clothes, having a meeting, being with God will not affect you per se. It won't ruin our relationship. So,
The
but
secret stuff is all the
secret,
stuff you supposed to tell
exactly
them.
right
If that's what you if the Holy Spirit is talking to you and it's like now you know,
now,
that's a secret. That's a
right,
secret.
right.
That's a secret.
So the therapist said to ask yourself, will this information affect my partner and the relationship in a negative way? So that's
Hmm.
how you know what you're trying to determine: is this a secret, or am I just trying to keep this private, or is this or am I protecting my privacy? So that's like that. Is this a
Hmm.
secret, or am I protecting my privacy? So
Right.
that is secrets versus privacy. So
Now
our
we got
first
some
yeah,
questions.
we got a couple questions here. So our first question is, how would you rather find out a serious secret about your partner? Would you want them to tell you, or would you rather find out on your own? Like
Oof,
how would you want to find out a serious secret about your partner?
man. Okay. Now I got it. Okay, this is what I was thinking about this. So, I mean, the sensible answer is I would want them to tell me.
Right.
However, I do think there is a bit of excitement and more interest when you find out on your own, and then you got to decide what you're gonna do with that. It's like
The
I don't know. This
pettiness.
is
It's like the
probably like this is the evil inside of me.
yeah.
But it's like, I got this wild
Like,
card now. How are we going to approach this? Yeah, exactly. Like how
hmm.
how are we going to approach you know? So I was thinking about that, but for healthy relationship purposes, which is what we're trying to promote, I would
Yes.
love for them to talk to me about it, man. I
Right.
would love for them to talk to me about it. You
Right. Me
know?
too. Yeah. Me too. I would want someone to tell me right out without me having to find out because finding out on my own then kind of leads to, okay, can I trust you? Like, can I trust you to tell me the truth?
Mm,
Especially if something really big, you know? So we're gonna get into that next. But if it's something
yeah.
really big and I find out about it, it's like, wait a minute. So like what else are you hiding? Or what else are you not telling me?
What
And it
else
starts
you got going?
and it just opens up a Pandora's box. If I find out on my own and then I take that information instead of presenting it to you right away, and I decide to go down
Yeah.
a rabbit hole and go on somebody's Instagram and going doing all this stuff, detective work, and
Oh
then trying to
yeah.
catch you up in a lie that I'm as wrong as you are for not telling me. Because I
Oh
found
no! Don't say that. Don't
yes,
put
because
us wrong. Don't make us be wrong too.
yes, because I found out and I tried to use that as leverage against you to see if you're still going to lie to me instead of saying, you know what, I found this information out.
Yeah.
Can you tell me is this the truth or not? Because then that is keeping our relationship healthy. But if I try to use it to see if
Right.
you're going to lie to me again, like we do with our children, we go, did you do
Mm-hmm.
this today or did you go to school today? Did you skip school today? Did you know? Even though we already know the information because we have already found
Yeah.
out or the school's already called us,
Mm,
when it comes to our partner, we want them to be upfront with us, that we have to do the same for them.
you right.
But it is it's in our nature, I think, for us to lean towards the evilness, towards the
Yeah.
sneakiness and the lying of it, because we're like, oh, because at this
Oh, I
point,
got you. I got
right,
you.
right, because at this point now there's a test that we want them to pass. Like because that's
Yeah.
what we've been doing subconsciously, that's what we've been doing anyways from the beginning anyway, when we're getting to know people. It's like putting them through these tests we haven't told them about to see if they're even up if they can handle being with us or they can live up to the part or even if we can be with them. So
Yeah.
I want them to tell me. I don't want to find out on my own. If I find out on my own, then it just feels like it's an extra betrayal to
Yeah.
me.
And I gotta say, I used to be when I was in maybe like the end of college and early
Hmm.
adult early early adulthood, I guess. I was toxic with the testing.
Right.
I'm serious.
Hmm.
Like even girls that was just my friends, I would do the testing stuff so much I didn't even realize I was doing it. And then one time, one of my friends, one of the homies, she was like, "Dude, why are you always testing us? Like we are your friends. You don't
Right.
have to keep testing us. Like why are you doing
Right.
this?" And even early, like when my wife and I were dating, I remember she was like, "Dude, why are you always putting together some tests? It's exhausting. What?
Right.
Stop it." And I had to realize that, man. So I'm speaking as people in the
Right.
in the
You are you
mix.
are you are
Yeah,
reformed
I was terrible. Yes,
tester.
I'm a reformed tester. Yeah,
You're a reformed tester.
I'm
Hi,
a
my name
reformed
is Don
tester.
Dees, and I used to be a tester.
I used to be a tester, guys. I apologize. Ugh, yeah, yeah.
Excuse me, guys.
I'm sure. Bless you, bless you.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's still somewhere trying to. It's probably somewhere like right over here, and
Yeah.
I just gotta keep it at bay. I
Right.
just gotta keep it at bay.
Right. Yeah.
That's why the Lord made me a pastor, because all the petty stuff that I want to do, He's like, now that's that spirit. Now you know.
Now you know.
Now you know. And I'll be like, all
Right.
right, all right, all right.
Remember when.
Ah,
Right.
ah,
Remember when.
ah. All
It's
right.
those remember wins. Remember
Yep.
when? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, but sorry guys, I was a chronic tester at one point. I apologize. If anybody's watching this that was tested by me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So how would you handle it? So, well, before,
Dude.
yeah, how would you handle it?
No,
How
no,
would
no.
you?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You were gonna say something. Go ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
going to say before, how would you handle it? Before knowing how would you handle it, what would be your deal breaker secrets? And then how would you
Dude.
handle it? So, like,
Okay. Okay. Deal breakers. Infidelity.
mm-hmm.
I am not about that life. I've had, and here's the crazy thing. So my family on both sides is very religious and
Okay.
has been very positive, has not been really toxic with the religion. It's been like real wholesome. Everything's been really cool. So
Uh,
when something like that happens within the family, it is shocking for real. Like you're like, oh, I never would have thought that. And I've had people in my family who have had the infidelity situation, and I'm in like,
mm-hmm.
it really blew me away. Like I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, not in a
Right.
million years would I have ever thought that. Like my family is like Quaker Oats wholesome type people. Not Quakers, but Quaker Oats wholesome. You know? And so to see something like that, it was such a jarring thing that
Mm-hmm.
if it were to, if that were to happen in my relationship, oh my God. I don't know if this is part of. I don't really get into the, the Virgo signs and all that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a trait of cancers, which I'm a Cancer. Is that sorry for this loud noises over here? They rolling back here, but
Mine too. Hello.
um,
Oh, yeah.
yours too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe, cut people off. We get over stuff quick. Like that's what it is. Infidelity. Pfft, all right, pack your bags up and leave. Like yeah, exactly. Like we done. So like for me, that's the number one deal breaker. I think almost anything else, I think I could work through. But I'll say infidelity for me would be like anything in that realm. So it's like having an affair, cheating, uh from all the way to I got another family on the other side of town or in another
Right.
country or whatever, all that stuff. That's all in the infidelity for me. But other than that, I feel like I might be able to work through, unless murder might be another deal breaker, but those really are the only two, I think. Let me hear your list. I might add some after.
Okay, I'm not there with infidelity. I think infidelity sometimes is like number one on people's list, but I think because I
Hmm.
am a reformed cheater,
Oh, okay, okay,
I
okay.
don't that wouldn't be like a deal
That
breaker
wouldn't be
secret.
on your list. Gotcha.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Yes.
be a deal. It wouldn't be a deal breaker secret. It would be okay. I understand. Let's work this out. Let's not like where
Mm,
we. I would understand how um to handle that. So I'll
yeah.
be okay. Not to say I'm okay with someone cheating with me. Like, yeah, everybody come cheat on Tierra. No, it's just like I would
Nah.
understand.
Uh,
I
uh,
know from where that can stem from. So yeah, but for me, it would be like a
yeah.
secret
Okay.
child. I think in the
Oh. Okay.
yeah in the realm of marriage type stuff, it would be like if you like this has happened to me. Like if you told me that you were getting divorced and you weren't, and then I find out
Yes.
later that
Yes.
that you're still not getting a divorce and that she don't even know nothing about no divorce or a separation. So it's like,
Oh.
yeah, that type of lie.
Yeah.
Now that kind of cheat, yeah. Um, but yeah, so I would also, I don't know if let's see, another deal breaker. Not telling me your full background history. Like even though we're supposed to
Mm,
now in 2022 do our own background checks to see, if this person has done anything, like be on, yes, children.
mm-hmm.
If they were on a sex registry list or they
Mm-hmm.
were, if they've been to prison for something. It's like that information is important and you're supposed to tell somebody up front. But some
Yeah.
people don't tell that, that to someone. Like that happened to me also. Like the guy, he was on the sex registry on the yeah,
Yikes.
but it wasn't
Yeah.
for rape per se.
Uh.
He was on there for, what is it, statutory rape. So he was 19
Mm-hmm.
and she was 17, and the parents didn't approve their relationship. So the parents went to the court, and that's how he had to go do that. So it's like some things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you would give the information, explain to me some things, I go, okay, that's all right. But like those are the type of
Yeah.
deal breakers. Like you were a molester, like for real pedophile.
Like you
Uh,
was out here predatory.
right. I
Yeah.
think anything that would give people the look at me when you go and introduce me to your family at a cookout or something, and like, oh, I bet
Mm-hmm.
she don't know about this, or
Mm.
and then I find out
You be in
that
a
way,
corner. You be in a corner with Uncle Remus,
right? And he go,
and
well,
he got a little just good got a couple
right,
things, some of that syrup in him, and
right. He goes, oh,
stuff be dripping out.
right, Joe was in prison for 10 years for murder. I'm like, what? Like, and you don't know that type of stuff. I think
Really, really
really,
now.
right. And you don't know that's a deal breaker for me. I think most deal breakers is if I'm finding out on my own and you don't tell me, because then now I don't
Mm.
trust you, and how can a relationship work without trust? um
Yeah.
but those are the key things, like pedophile, molester, I don't know, murder, like you said. It's like it's very
Yeah.
sticky. Murder, and then yeah, like denying your kid,
Mm.
not paying child support.
Oh.
I think
Yeah,
because
that'd be a tough one.
I think it's because all the secrets are going to do but bring drama and continue to bring
Yeah.
drama to life or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are my deal breakers. So how would you handle if your spouse came to you and said, I, like, she decided not to let you fight on your own, and she's like,
Mm.
I cheated with Joe at work. We have been going out, on lunch dates or on lunch breaks together, and then it turned into
Mm.
something else. And then that night that you didn't do what I asked you to do, I called Joe, and he was my friend, and he listened to me. And then when we went on the business trip together for work, one thing led to another after we had a couple cocktails and we had sex. How would you handle that secret?
Ooh. Well, like I said, that's my deal breaker. Um.
So it's like automatic
So
divorce?
you know what though? I guess I should put a qualifier on that. I always, being a Christian man, I will always pray and be like, all right, God, help me figure this out. Because for
Mm-hmm.
me, let me take God out for a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it would go.
Mm-hmm.
Word. Okay, well, you need to call Joe. You got one day, pack up your stuff and call. Well, I mean, you can go wherever you want. Maybe Joe might be your best bet, but I'm gonna give you one day. You pack up your stuff. You can say bye to the kids, and you can explain to them why you're leaving,
Oh, wow.
and then you're out of here. That would be how I would do it without the Lord in my life. Um, you know, and and the reason why for me is like because if I were to be, I'd be very angry. But what am
Mm-hmm.
I gonna do? Go find Joe, beat up Joe? It's actually not Joe's fault, unless
Right.
he was predatory. I mean, like unless he kept like trying about it. Like, yeah, I know you got a husband, but this thing is real. Whatever. But for me to spend any energy on Joe is
Mm-hmm.
really not um, useful
Right.
because I don't really have nothing invested in Joe.
Right.
Even if he was the one who kept pushing on it, my connection would be with my wife. And if
Right.
she decided she wanted to do that to me, because I had a friend back in the day, we used to have this, it was like a recurring debate. Can you cheat on somebody even though you love them? And they were always trying to convince me that you can. And now, as a more mature person, I can allow my mind to be open to that idea. But for me, I was like, nah. As soon as you done. That is, I would, I know everybody can say what they would never do, but I'm pretty sure I would never do that. And so when I see that, I'm like, nah, pack your bags up and leave. You know that but my thing is, I as I do with my kids, I would do the same thing. I'd be like, okay, so you're going to be responsible. Like, you are going to explain to these kids why you are leaving. And I would say, yeah. So you are immediately going to experience this.
So you'll be
What it is
about
moving
trying
forward.
to you'll be in a mindset of trying to inflict the pain
Yeah.
on her the way she inflicted the pain on
Oh
you.
yeah.
Because
Oh, inflicting. Yes.
because telling the children would be out of pocket right away. That's like something you would need to do with a therapist, because kids don't understand unless I guess it depends on the level of the
Well,
children too.
I wouldn't tell her how she has to
Mhm.
tell them that she's leaving,
Oh,
but I
okay.
would say you're going to explain to them that you're leaving, and I'm not going to sit up there and be like, tell them about Joe, tell them about the weekend away. Tell them how you tried to put it on me because I didn't do something that you wanted, so you wouldn't talk to Joe. I wouldn't do all of that. I would just
Mhm.
say, no, you are leaving, and
Mhm.
you are gonna tell them,
Right.
and then I'll let her figure out how she want to do it, but
Right.
they gonna know. Because for me, I would be like, I don't, I don't hide things from my kiddos. Like, I tell it to them at their level,
Mhm.
but I let them know, like, because I don't want them hearing anything from anybody else first before they hear
Right.
it from us. And that is something I know right away. It would be like, you're out of here, pal. You're out of here. So they would need to know, because they'd be like, where is our mom? Like,
Where's
seriously,
mommy?
like, where is she? Where
Mhm.
is she? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is extremely unnatural. So they would have to know, and then we would have to be working through it. For me, I am a person that I don't care if stuff is hard. Like, I'll go through it. Like,
Mhm.
having my kids crying and talking to them and having to console them every night. Like, I don't, when I'm, I guess, what do you do? Count the cost. Like, I'll go through counting that cost and be like, yeah,
Mhm.
no, this is what it did to the relationship, and now this is what it's going to be. And now I'm not going to be like continually punishing, like my wife, like sending her videos of the kids crying, be like, see, look what you and Joe did. No, I'm not going to do that. It ain't going to be like that, but it would be pretty
Oh
immediate.
gosh.
Now with the Lord, I don't know. We might just be able to talk it through and work it out and keep moving on. So that's why I got to make that distinction. But the
Right.
natural, just Don D's right here, that's
Right.
how it would go down.
Right. Yeah. Um I think, well, so for my situation, since I'm not married
Hmm.
right now, if I
Hmm.
was to find out that a guy was on the sex registrar because of molestation outside
Hmm.
of statutory rape, of like, I was, he was dating somebody who was 17, he was 19. If it was something like he really molested someone, that would
Hmm.
trigger me, and I would like automatic, no, we got to end this.
Yeah.
Because and then I would kind of be mad at myself, because I was like, man, I didn't do my due diligence to find out, because I'm not sure, because I'm not sure
Really?
if it stays on there for the rest of their lives, doesn't it? Does it stay on there for the rest of their lives?
I have no experience in that world, so I
Oh,
really
so
don't
I
know.
don't
But
know, but yeah,
let me
I
look
don't
it
know.
up. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I can find out.
So, but it would be a definite no, we can't because I have children. Um, I think if I
Yeah,
didn't have
yeah,
children,
yeah,
then maybe I could
yeah,
be, it might be something that I could work out with you in couples therapy or, get more information. But I think that some things need to be told up front. Now, the caveat to that is that some people who have been in the system, whether it's prison or whatever, or been through anything like that, and they went through
yeah.
rehabilitation and therapy, they don't sometimes know how and when to say it, but I think they have been advised by their, therapist or their counselor or whoever their
Mm.
patrol officer or, is a patrol, not patrol, parole officer
The
is,
parole, yeah.
right,
Mm.
parole, how and when to do that because that information is very important. So, that is like to me, it's like an automatic, yeah. If we were married and I found out about that, man, I don't know if it would be an automatic, we're not together no more, but it would be some kind of a separation where we would have to go through couples therapy and go through some really deep, deep counseling to find out how we're going to move past this. Because again, my kids are,
Mm.
is what's not only my kids, you're a part of my family. So I have nieces
Yeah.
and nephews and you're gonna be in contact with them. And I need to know, like, when the kids have friends come over to stay over, that's now they're not gonna
Mm.
be able to have that because I would have to divulge the information to the kids' parents, like, oh, my husband
Right,
was a
right.
molester. That's a lot of baggage to carry. And not to say that
And
that person has
yeah.
to be condemned or you judge them for the rest of their life. But if you did something like that, you have to tell somebody, especially someone like me, because I went through that as a kid. So I that's a trigger for me. And so it's like an
Yeah.
automatic, I don't know about that. Now the other
Well,
one, as far as like a kid, I found out you got a
mm,
kid, like like this TV show that I've been reviewing. The guy they were like, oh, do you have any children? He was like, nah. He's like, oh, well, I got a 10-year-old. How do you say no
no.
first?
Yeah, my kids be doing that too.
He's like,
No, but
no. Oh
actually I
no.
did
Oh
it,
yeah.
yes,
Oh
about
yeah, I
10
got a
times
10-year
over.
old.
Yeah, I did it.
Right. But like right away, that's different. But if I ask you, do you have any children, and you tell me no, and then I find
Mm.
out after the fact that you do have children and then you are on child support payments and you just don't see them. And because you don't see them, you're not acknowledging them.
Oh
Oh, that's an
wow.
issue. That's a whole issue because I want to know then why. Not to say it's your fault because it could be the mom's fault. She could be holding a huge grudge and keeping you away from the child. But that's information that you tell up
You
front.
need to know.
You don't go
Yeah.
a long time into a relationship because you figure a relationship is not right
Hmm.
away. So I'm getting to know you for some months before we
Yeah.
even go into a relationship. So now we're in a committed, serious relationship or even marriage, and I found out you have a kid somewhere else that you already knew about. It's one thing if you ain't know about that kid, you had one night stand, she ain't never tell you, and you find out, but you knew, and you are on payment plans to pay child support.
Woo.
That's
Yes.
something. That's a whole
Yeah.
thing.
I, fo-
So
I
yeah.
found out the info real quick.
Oh,
So
okay.
I didn't know this. There are tiers. There are
Oh,
tiers. If
wow.
you're a tier one offender, you're on the register for 10 years. You're a tier two, you're on the registry for 20 years. If you are a tier three offender, you are on there for life.
That might be
Now, I don't
rude.
know what tier one, tier
I,
two,
I
three,
think I
but
think I think just
yeah,
by thinking about it, I think tier one might be the statutory rape cases, which I think they may have changed the name
yeah.
of it because rape is it's not really considered rape when you think about it. If I was
Uh,
17 and he was 19 and it was consensual and it
yeah.
we knew each other, because some instances are like that, like I've known this person for a long time and we just happen to be 2 years apart, and
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
something like that, and then you pass over into adult status before I do.
Yeah.
That might be it. But yeah, so okay, so it falls off like 10
Yeah, so
years.
there's
Years.
tiers. There's tiers to this. There's levels to
Wow.
this.
Wow. So you won't
Yeah,
even ever
that is,
know if they did anything if they were on
if
tier
it
one
was a
and tier
tier
two.
one thing and it's not on there, then it's just on them
Wow.
to tell you if they did or not.
Right.
Um,
And that's for
yeah.
men and women. So Y'all need to
Yeah.
make sure that y'all ask the right questions. Don't be focusing on their favorite color and their favorite food. Ask them, have you ever
You can
been
find that
listed?
out later.
Right. Have you ever
True.
been listed on the sex register for
You got
anything?
any criminal anything?
Right. Anything. I need to know
I almost
ASAP.
want to check on myself. Did I ever do anything that
You
will
would
ever
know.
come
You
back
you
to haunt me?
you
I
would
don't. Yeah.
you would know.
Man, you know what's crazy though? I remember I was kind of curious about this, and I went to one of
Uh-huh.
these sites where you can just research people's rap sheets or something. I forgot what the website was,
Right.
and I said, "Man,
Mm-hmm.
let me just." And I probably should never have done this, but I said, "Let me just type in." I just picked a family member
Mm-hmm.
and just typed the name in, and it was like, oh, about 10 entries came up. And they were like, yeah,
Wow.
if you want, if you, I mean, it didn't say the stuff. It was like, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
know more, click this link. Now
Mm-hmm.
give me this information and click this. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, really? Is it really?
Right.
Or
Mhm.
y'all got info out here on people and it ain't really right?
Well,
What is it?
a lot of families hide a lot of information on uncle or
Mm,
auntie somebody. But yeah,
mm.
that's a whole other
Yeah, them
podcast.
family secrets. Yeah, that's it. That is another one. That's a different one. But yeah, so those secrets. But yeah, like I feel though, I don't know. This is probably Christian positivity. I feel like
Right.
majority of stuff can be worked through
Hmm.
like a first go round, I want to say,
Okay. Hmm.
versus like some repeat stuff.
Hmm.
Like if it's somebody, like if it's like if my wife was a thief and she keeps like she's kleptomaniac or something, like I'd be like, okay, let's let's
Right.
figure this out. Why you keep coming back from Safeway with these candy bars? Stop. No. But but I feel like with the help of God, everything could be almost everything. I could probably work it out one time.
Hmm.
You know, I
Yeah.
think. I mean,
I think
disclaimers, but
yeah.
yeah,
I think there
I
are
don't know.
I think also I think there are levels of secrecy too. I think so. Just like you were just saying, like
Mm,
the secrecy of being a klepto, that's a level.
yeah.
That's probably like a tier one. Or
Yeah.
you like
Oh my gosh, we're giving our secrets to the
yeah,
registry too. Woo.
that might be a tier one, and then like
Yeah.
I think yeah, I think there's levels of secrecy because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
type of stuff, and then infidelity or being in prison, and then it
Yeah.
also depends on like how it will affect you based on your relationship status. So if you've been in it for a very long time and you have kids together or y'all have done a lot of stuff together, it can affect you
Mm,
differently if you're just in a 3 month dating situation and
yeah.
you really have a easy way
That's
out,
true. That's true. Yeah.
when it comes to secrets, because I know that I find out stuff early on and I cut off people real fast. I'm like that. And when I'm dating you and I find stuff out, and if I find it out afterwards and you didn't tell me, especially if I asked you, I think that's the thing. If
Oh,
I
yeah.
say
That's the worst.
that is the worst, if I have asked you in English in your native language, and I asked you and I said, "Hey, have you ever done this?" Or, "Hey, are you entertaining any other women?" Does somebody think that you are their husband or their fiance or
Did
their
somebody
boyfriend?
think?
Do they
Yeah.
think that? Do they know that? I mean, like, because people lie, or
Mm,
men and women can like automatically separate themselves from whoever they're with for a season and get on these dating apps and be like, "Oh, I'm just up here for a little bit because she or he is tripping, but I'm act like I'm single for a second." And it's out here. So,
mm.
but if I ask you, you can't come back to me and say, "Well, you never said anything or you never
Oh
asked me," because
no.
I've gotten that before. "Oh, you didn't ask me." Well, why should I have to ask you? Because
You know what this is?
in relationships, there's honesty, there's transparency, and
Yeah.
and if I'm being 100% and transparent with you, then you should do the same for me. If I'm telling you, yo, I was married, I cheated in my
Mm,
marriage, I did. I was all wrong. If I'm telling you that, because I don't have to tell you that.
Right, right,
I
right.
can just say the marriage ended and that was it. And then you get with me and we get married and you find out that I was cheating. Like that, then if I wouldn't do
Yeah.
that to you, can you please give me the same decency? And but people
And
out here aren't doing that. So
and let me piggyback on that and say, for anybody to be like, "Ooh, this dude is really harsh on his wife that was unfaithful in a hypothetical situation," I would also subject myself to that same
right,
thing.
right.
I would do that. Even if my wife was kind of like, I mean, I would be open to it. I mean, obviously she would kind of dictate the terms of that if it was
Mm-hmm.
me that did the violation, but
Right,
everything that I said, I would also, if she wanted things to go that way with me, I wouldn't
right,
fight it. I would be like, yeah, I yeah, you're right.
right,
Yeah.
right. You would hold yourself to the same standards that you hold
Yeah.
other people. Yeah.
Yes,
Which
yes,
is
yes.
grown up because a lot of people don't do that. They'll make people be up here and they down here. And like, oh,
Yeah, right.
like wait a minute,
But
you
that was
supposed to be on the same
different.
level. Like what? No.
Yeah, why you
Yeah.
got all these justifications and rationalizations for yourself, but I got to do it raw. Come on now.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. So this whole topic came about because I was watching a couple of TV shows or something on our sabbatical here, and
Mm-hmm.
it just so happened that in these movies and series, that whenever the woman would tell their spouse, their partner, that they were now when I say woman and spouse, I mean I'm saying woman and man because in these
Mm-hmm.
situations there was a wife and a husband or a girlfriend and a boyfriend. But
Mm-hmm.
whenever the woman would tell them, "Oh, this is my secret," the man would just fall apart. It was just like, "Oh my gosh, you told me this." But then it came back around and
Mm-hmm.
the woman found out something about them, and it was just like we were just saying. It was like, oh well, well yours is worse than mine. It's like it's like some kind of a measurement,
Wow.
you
Like an
know?
Olympics, secrets Olympics.
Right, right. So in one situation, the man found out that the woman had a secret affair with someone
Mm-hmm.
who was from her college or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew it was weird. They were all friends in college. And just so happened that she didn't go after her heart. She went after her mind, which women, that's a good topic to talk about too on another
Yeah.
episode. But when a lot of
She
women
hit the
will,
logic.
yeah, a lot of women will go with the security before they go with the
Mm.
love. Just know that,
Wow. Wow.
because it's like I want to be secure because love can't secure me if you don't have no job or no
Yeah.
career or no kind of vision or something going on. But anyway, so she went after her logic and like, oh, this person's gonna, make a great husband and a great father. He's gonna be
Uh-huh.
secure. I'm gonna feel secure in him instead of going after her heart, which is the guy that she was passionate about. But it all came back around and they ended up working together and they had an affair.
Oh
So
wow.
he, so her
Okay.
husband found out about it and he went bananas. He went ate, and he was so
Yeah.
upset. But he also had cheated on her, and he got drunk one night at a family party and tried to come on to her sister,
Mm-hmm.
but he still
Oh
held
yo.
what she did to
So
a
that's
higher,
two.
like it was
That's
like it was
two
worse.
strikes.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So he had
So
an
it was,
affair, but then he also got drunk and wow.
yeah, he had an affair before with
Mm-hmm.
an assistant, and he tried to come on to her sister after he found out about her affair with one of their college friends. To me, I think his male
Wow.
ego was messed up because of who it was, not just because of what she
Mm.
did. But even still, I think that when it comes to men, and you can tell me this, if a man, if a woman does something to a man, that a man also does the same thing to a woman, it's like it doesn't matter that he did it. It's the whole big thing is that, oh, but you did it. You did this to me. Like, how could you do this to me, even though I did this to you too, years ago.
Yeah.
So
You
what's
know
up
what
with the
I'm
male ego?
wondering? So
That.
so this is what I'm wondering, because when I hear it, the male ego, I'm wondering if that is an easy pivot to say it that
Right.
way,
Mm-hmm.
because like, patriarchy, male dominated society, you
Mm-hmm.
got this whole idea
Mm-hmm.
about men in charge and they have
Right.
their ideas. But I'm wondering if you dig a little more down,
Mm-hmm.
if it isn't more about control. If you're a
Right.
controlling person versus a non-controlling person, whether you are male or female,
Mm-hmm.
if you are somebody who is in control and you think that you have control of everything, and then you find
Mm-hmm.
out, oh, something slipped past me,
Right.
then are you more mad about that? I remember, I forgot what this movie was called, but it was this movie about a guy who was like a predatory dude,
Mm-hmm.
and he was hunting like 15-year-old girls.
Oh
And
wow.
I can't remember what the movie was, but
R.
it
Kelly.
was it was no, 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 it was like, it wasn't a documentary, it was like a scripted movie. um but the whole movie was about the father
Oh, that wasn't
trying to
good.
nah, yeah. The whole movie was about the father trying to catch this dude that had preyed on his daughter.
Oh, okay.
And there was and while he was like losing it, and there was this argument between him and his daughter, um the daughter said to him, are you more mad that this is happening, or are you sad that it happened to me? Like, meaning,
Right.
is this
Right.
more about your home was disrupted
Right.
and I was sneaky, and there was this
Mm-hmm.
guy, and you're now just trying to get revenge because of what was done
Right.
to you? Or
Mm-hmm.
was it, or were you actually afraid for my life, and were you actually like, do you actually care about me, your daughter's safety and whatever? Now,
Right.
in that sense, it's almost kind of like crazy to think about, because it's
Right.
like, fool, you know what you did was wrong, little girl. Why are you up here trying to make a moral argument when you just did some crazy stuff? But the reality, but two things can be true at the same time, is that yes, maybe he was afraid for what could have happened to her because he wants to keep his family safe. But
Mm-hmm.
also, if he thought his household was in control, and then
Right.
he finds that this has happened, then yeah, that could be devastating, and you want to kind of like regain control. So I
Right.
think a lot of times it does kind of go with the male sensitivity, because that's kind of how society has set it up. Man, you're supposed to be in control of your household and da 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 da. But I wonder if also uh, women who like to be in control also would feel that same level of betrayal, or
Right.
you got something under me or whatever, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm just wondering if it's that, um as opposed to it being like a male trait kind of a deal,
Okay. Right.
you know
Right. I got you.
I don't know, what
Like,
do you think?
I think that the this is never going to happen to me
Mm,
mentality kicks in, or I'll
mm, mm.
remember, like, on The Best Man. I think that's a big
Yep,
one.
that's
Remember The
exactly
Best
what. Yep.
Man? He cheated on her so many
So much.
times.
He had his Bible scriptures ready.
He
Ezekiel
cheated on
7
her
verse 1,
all
read
the
it.
time.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
He cheated on her all the time. And then when he found out that she slept with his best man,
That
way
makes it
before,
even worse.
way before, um, it like ripped him apart. Like
Oh yeah.
he couldn't believe that this was ever going to happen to him, and the fact that it happened with someone that was his best friend,
Oh yeah.
someone that was
The
very
dude that
close
was
to
reading his scriptures,
him. Right,
his armor bearer.
right. So I think that there are people out there who have that mentality, like, I can do this to you and you not ever find out, but
Yeah.
you can't do this to me and I find out, because I'm gonna, And it's like, I don't know. I don't know the label for it. I don't want to say narcissism because I mean that's been thrown out so many times, but it is
Yeah.
that, it's that audacity of I can do it but you can't type thing. And it just makes the other person feel even worse. But um, that's toxic though. That's a
Yeah. That's
toxic
terrible.
way of thinking. So for the sake of time,
Yeah.
I'm gonna run through these. Or did you want to run through these right quick? Your information
Oh
here.
yeah. Yeah. Let's take a second to talk about this because this is some good constructive stuff.
Okay.
5 ways. This was an article by
Mm-hmm.
another PhD of something. I think she's a cognitive behavioral therapist,
Yeah.
Jennifer Gutman, who
But,
is on a website called Mind Body Green. I guess it's like about your your holistic health. And they were
yes.
talking about secrets and like these are the 5 ways that keeping a secret can ruin your relationship.
Right.
And an interesting, just one of the interesting stuff. I'm not going to go through all of the stats, but
Right.
one of the interesting stats to me was that these guys they did some research, right? They did some
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
research, and they
Yeah.
found out that on average, this is on average. That means this is most people. On
Right.
average, people keep about 13 secrets at a time,
Wow. Wow.
5 of which they have never told anyone.
I believe that because
So,
there are
so
things
yeah,
there are things that I have never told anyone. Like,
yeah,
and like the only person who knows is me and Jesus. Like,
yeah, yeah,
you know, I think even like that's even with even your best friends. You should never think. I used to think naively that you're supposed to tell your best friend everything,
oh,
even your best friend who's your spouse. But I think there are still some things that you don't tell because there are things that you have to work out on your own first
yeah, yeah,
before you tell someone, because sometimes you haven't gotten past the guilt and shame of it. And if you haven't gotten past that part of it or
oh,
forgiving
yeah,
yourself of it and you tell someone, you're now very insecure about the information that you've given them, because you're probably like, okay, what are they going to think about me? But when you
yeah,
arrive to the place where I don't care about how you think about me in this situation. This is what happened in my life. I've forgiven myself. God's forgiven me. I've healed and I'm past it.
yeah.
Then it's okay to tell. But yeah, I definitely believe that. So
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure it's probably higher. If that's the average, it's probably
yeah,
higher. Because I mean, if like when you said it like that, I didn't even think of it like, oh, yeah, there's probably tons of stuff that I have never told anybody
right.
that's just between me and the Lord, you know.
Or there could be
But
some
let me
things
talk about
that
the
you
yeah.
never
Go
thought
ahead.
about. I was gonna say there are also
Yeah,
things that
right,
you
right, right.
probably have suppressed, that we suppress certain things that are traumatic and we don't think about it. I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff. I saw another relationship thing
Mm,
where the guy was like, it like an event that him and his wife had went to triggered a memory and she never knew about it, and he told her and she was like, oh, how come you never told me? And she was very offended. He was like, I forgot.
yeah,
And she was like, how could you
yeah.
forget? I wouldn't forget. And it's like, you can't put that on someone.
You're
You
not
can't say, well, I
me.
would.
Yeah.
Right. You can't say you wouldn't forget that. You didn't go through it.
Right.
So
And
some
who
things are
knows why
suppressed.
things get
Right.
suppressed? Like literally you could I've had the days where I've forgotten that I ate breakfast because it was just so busy. So if you could
Yes.
do that with some such mundane
Right.
thing,
Right.
something
Right.
that happened in your past to like 15 years ago, you can
Right.
definitely forget that it happened. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
still there, but
Right.
yeah, sometimes it takes a trigger to
Yeah.
get it popping off or whatever. But yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
no, that's true. Okay, so let me just tell y'all this real quick so we can give you some info to work with. So when you keep these secrets, and these are secrets, it kind of says specifically secrets that hurt your relationship, right? So maybe there's, like we said, there's levels to it, there's different types of stuff, but these are the ones that where the spirit is like, now those
Right.
secrets.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things it does is it creates a barrier to connecting, right? It becomes difficult to feel a shared and connected life with someone with whom you're being inauthentic. If you know that you're lying about it, right?
Right.
So
Right.
the secret keeper,
Mm-hmm.
the secret keeper felt lower life satisfaction, and they felt fatigue, loneliness, sadness, hostility.
Right.
These were like their natural thoughts that were,
Mm-hmm.
or their natural feelings and emotions that they kind of carried with them at all times. So it's creating
Mm-hmm.
a barrier. That's what they
Right.
found in this research. Another one, I'll list them all off, and then you can, let me know what
Okay.
jumped out at you. All right.
Okay.
The next one, it fuels an atmosphere of mistrust in the relationship. So the
Yep.
deceived partner, they
Mm-hmm.
often find it hard to trust the other. Like what other secrets are there? Is there a pattern
Mm-hmm.
that you're continuing?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this constant need for reassurance that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't help build trust. It kind of like it's like, okay, I'm no longer in a healthy relationship. It's more like
Mm-hmm.
I'm always reassuring you, or I'm always like trying to
Right.
placate your fear now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. That's
every
very
time
exhausting.
I promise, I'm just
Right.
going to work. I'm not.
Right.
I just had to go to the store. And and I can imagine that's exhausting on both ends
It
for
is.
both partners as well. You know what I'm saying?
That's very
Uh,
exhausting. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Then
that's that's where you need counseling. You need counseling because
if you can't get
yes,
past that,
right. We can't get
go
because
ahead. Mm-hmm.
in the beginning, yes, in the beginning, if someone you find out a lie or infidel, anything, a hidden bank
Mm-hmm.
account, anything, in the beginning, it's like yes, that person is supposed to be so forthcoming with the information that you should never have to ask because now you're
Yeah.
rebuilding the trust because trust is not given, it's earned. But
Yeah.
if I'm the person who found out about the lie or who you lied to, I need to get past it too. I need to get to a point where I am trusting you and I'm actually giving you grace and I'm giving you mercy and I'm showing you love because the way that God forgives us, we're supposed to forgive each other. And we can't say that we forgive each other and we're still holding on to it and we want people to jump through
Right.
obstacles in order to make us feel secure. Because if you can't get past it, you need to go ahead and let it go. Let that
Right.
relationship go. I mean,
And,
it's
and
yeah.
I got remember I was telling you I used to be a chronic tester. Another
Right.
thing I used to do is ask all these questions. I remember when DJ Envy and his wife Gia, they were talking
Right.
about when he was infidel, when he had his cheating
Right.
situation. Then she was saying one of the things that he did is like she would always ask questions, like whenever she thought about it, she would ask these questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he basically just had to answer honestly
Right.
whatever. And I remember I used to do that. I remember one time early into my relationship with my wife, she had shared something with me. It was kind of shocking, not really shocking, but it was just like something I didn't know. And then I started asking all kinds of crazy
Mm-hmm.
questions
Mm-hmm.
after that. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
just like, I don't know. I mean, like, for example, if somebody's like, yeah, there was one time that I stole. And you're just like, what? I would never think you steal. And then then afterwards, I'd be like, well, have you ever been to prison for stealing? Have you stole money? Do you practice robbing in your secret time? Like stupid questions, it's almost like the questions are to punish you for what you did,
Right.
and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So and that was for a petty, stupid thing, and I was
Mm-hmm.
young, but I
Right.
can imagine somebody who's been invested in a relationship and they find this secret out, and they are truly hurt, and then you're still having to do this kind of work of
Right.
play of reassuring. Oh man, that's got to be so
Yeah.
unhealthy. If you make it through that, that is some hope that hopefully you can
Right.
refer yourselves to. Let me get through these other two, and then we
Okay.
can kind of
Okay.
just talk. Okay, so then the next one is it impedes your ability to communicate naturally. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
When people keep secrets, they impede communication between them and their loved ones. They can create stilted, inorganic conversations because so much overthinking, like what can I say, what I got to make sure I talk in a way that doesn't bring any, wait, what did you just, wait, what was that? When did
Right.
you
Right.
got to, I mean, you got to be like, you be talking naturally, but you got to be like 50 steps ahead of what you're saying right
Right.
in that moment so that you don't slip into a trap. And then you, as the person who was keeping the secret, you are like always afraid that you might reveal the secrets. You might,
Mm-hmm.
be much less available or receptive or involved
Right.
in your relationship at all. You're just like very standoffish because you're so guarded about
Right.
your secret. It's yeah, it's tough.
Right.
Um, and then of course the tangled web we weave.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you gotta cover this up, you gotta cover that up, da 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 da
Right.
da.
Right.
And then it can actually have, they found in their research, it can actually have physical implications on your body. You
I
can
believe it.
not only stress and
Mm-hmm.
mental and emotional, but physical, damage to your body because you're
Mm.
trying to keep all of those things. So yeah, so those are the five um, ways that, and I'm sure there are more. I'm sure this list is not exhaustive, but those are some of the detriments that are going to be now a part of your relationship
Right. I
when you
see it
keep the
says
secret.
headaches, digestive issues, and sleep problems.
Oh yeah.
So you be like, oh, you got a headache? So what secret you keeping?
Oh my God! Yeah,
You
don't
gotta keep going to the
everybody better
bathroom.
start going
What's,
to their,
what's your
yeah.
secret? What's your secret? You
Hmm.
can't sleep. What's
Hmm.
your secret?
Yeah, yeah. What's I'd be like, nah, dude, I'm straight. I'm good. I'm good. What is it a tier one secret?
What is
Tier
a tier
two?
one? Is a tier
Tier
two?
three?
Can we
Is
get
this
past?
is this a lifetime thing? What are we doing here? Yeah, yeah.
That's something.
No, no, no. That's crazy. Um, yeah. Any more thoughts on that? Because there's one other thing I wanted to
Nope.
to give to the people. Okay,
Mm-mm.
we always want to leave you
Right.
with helpful suggestions and gifts and tools.
Right.
And so we want to also tell you about some steps towards healing.
Right.
All right. First one in this article, these are their suggestions. Don't be impulsive when you're
Mm.
revealing a significant secret. Don't blurt it out like, I got to
Right.
cleanse my soul. I got to. It's like, no, man.
Yeah.
Pick your spots, pick your time. If you're a significant part, if you're about to go to, Thanksgiving dinner with the fam,
Right.
hey, don't be like, I know we're about to go in here right now, but and then they got to now try and navigate this whole experience
Right.
through that lens. Nah,
Right.
nah. So that's one.
Unless you slept with somebody at the Thanksgiving dinner,
Right.
they
Yeah,
need to know, and they need to know
you
that.
know, Gerald's about to be up in here, and I got to tell you
Yeah.
something about Gerald. But see, when you did it, so you better tell him. You better tell him a week in advance,
Right. Exactly.
so they can make plans or whatever. But just don't be out here just bearing your soul all out. Like, we don't need no Will and Jada Smith life exposure every moment,
No.
every time anything happens. Shut up, just shut up.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Right.
But pick your spots. So pick your spots. Second,
Right.
be straightforward, right? But be kind and compassionate, right?
Yeah.
Think about the circumstances, think
Yeah.
about timing, think about location. I guess basically everything we really just talked
Yeah.
about. Think
Yeah.
about the mental and emotional state of your partner. If they
Right.
are at work and they're stressed and they're going through stuff, and then your relationship has kind of been in a strain,
It's not the time.
or figure out
Something.
how you can navigate that. Like, don't just be
Right.
like, oh yeah, well, since we're doing terrible, by the way, Gerald, nah.
Right.
Like,
Right.
be sensitive about it.
And
Right.
don't call them and say, "Hey, I got something I really need to tell you when you get home." Don't do
Ugh.
that either, because now they're at work or wherever they just thinking about, "Oh my gosh, what are going to tell me?"
Yeah,
No,
because
let
it's
them in.
always bad
Right.
news. It's
Yeah.
never good news when I got
No.
something to tell you when you get
Yeah.
home. It's never good.
Right.
Yeah. Here's another one. If the information is something that might create distress between the two of you, like infidelity or bankruptcy, you may want to consider having a third party present, like a couples counselor or a therapist, or if it's financial, have an accountant or a lawyer so you can talk about other options. I like parts of this one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess to me that sort of plays into maybe the previous one where it's like be compassionate. Consider.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, do you really
Yeah.
want other people around? Like what I would do for something like that, I would maybe I'd plan it out like this. I'd say prior to me telling the person, I
Uh-huh.
would contact the counselor, say, hey, I'm getting ready to do this.
Right.
Can you be on standby? So then I would tell the person privately,
Right.
and I'd say, I'd add into that discussion, look, I'm willing to work on this. I do have a counselor that I have connections to if you are willing to go that route. So I would kind of do it that way. I don't know about bringing nobody
I
actually
think
into the
I think
moment.
yeah, I think though a therapist is a counselor is critical to be present if your partner has a bad temper.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
if this is
Could
something
be.
that's yeah, it's like it all it's all relative. If your partner has a really bad temper and you know they're gonna fly off the handle based on what you're gonna tell them, if they told you that if they already told you from the beginning that was a non-negotiable for them, that was a
Yeah,
100% deal breaker, and then
yeah,
you go out and do it anyway, or you already did it and you didn't tell them, then yes, because Jonathan move because then that is they're not gonna know they're not gonna know how to handle that information depending on how long you've been together or how
mm,
invested you are, how invested they are, into
right,
you.
right.
Because it can trigger them. Say somebody else already did that to them and they told you, hey, look, I don't want to have anything to do with this. So if you've already
Yeah,
done this, I don't want to be a part of it. Or please don't ever do this to me because this is going to happen. So yeah, I think for the safety of the person who's going to tell, because what if that person, might just start throwing stuff or hitting? It's like if another person is there, then it's like,
yeah.
okay, if you don't have a counselor, if you know that person has a temper, you need to call the police. Hey, I'm about to tell my
True,
husband
true.
that I cheat on him and I think he's gonna hit me. You know, and,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's laughable, but it's for real. It's like is
yeah,
your life
yeah,
is important. If you know that your partner has a bad temper or tends to throw things, or they have a history of that a long time ago, they may not do that anymore with you. But what you're going to tell them is going to trigger them and set them off. So I
yeah,
would say
yeah. That's a sticky one. That's a sticky one.
yeah,
Yeah, you got to know your situation. You got to
you
know
gotta know
your situation.
you gotta know your
Because
partner.
I know for me, if that was if anybody else is there when I'm first finding this thing out,
Right,
that might make me more angry than I even would have just regularly been.
right, right.
Like I had a friend, and it wasn't even bad news. It was just his wife was pregnant,
Uh-huh.
and she told him at his birthday party with everybody there. And
you,
yeah,
you didn't like
yeah. For me, I would have been like, I would not want to know this
that.
like
Right,
this.
right, right,
Because when you just start thinking about other stuff. Like for me, I'd be like, man, do we got money for this? Blah 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 blah. Well, why are
right,
we? I don't know, all kind of stuff could go on. So anyway,
right,
yeah, just know your situation. Know your
right,
situation.
right.
But ultimately, even though exposing the secret might be like the most horrific reality you think that you're going to have to face for yourself, don't even think about the partner. For you, the offender
Mm-hmm,
person,
mm-hmm,
feel in the end,
mm-hmm.
there will be more positive effects than negative effects. You may be able to work through it, which might be surprising to you,
Mm-hmm.
but you may be able to work through it. Even if you're not able to work through it, you are not holding on to this
Mm-hmm.
secret and just torturing yourself internally. You got to
Right,
let it go for your own mental health. Yes, you make mistakes, and sometimes the consequences of those mistakes are some things that we would never ever want.
Right.
But holding on to it is exponentially worse.
Right.
Um, and then the best thing is just always exercise transparency, honesty. Um, those things are going, like, if you cultivate a relationship where that is encouraged, I
Right.
feel like forgiveness is probably more on the horizon than
Right.
not, you know.
Right.
But
Hmm.
ultimately, for your well-being, man, you can't hold that stuff.
Right.
It's just gonna eat you up inside. It's
Right.
gonna be terrible. So, you know, that
Right.
those are mine. Would you add any? You got any that you would add to that, or
I would
yeah?
add,
What would you say?
when you do tell the secret, if you have a secret, don't tell the secret in front of family. Don't tell the secret in front of friends who are not for your relationship. Because say you
Mm,
have a good girlfriend
mm,
who don't like your husband or don't like your boyfriend or whoever your partner anyway, and that just adds fuel to the fire because
oh Lord.
that tension has already been there. It's already been there. So
Mm,
it's, to me, like that point that we already talked about, it's better to tell that secret uh, in front of someone who could be a
like a
moderator,
neutral party.
yeah, a
Mm-hmm.
neutral party especially, and just don't have secrets. I think, when you go into a situation, not even situation, when you go into getting to know someone in the beginning stages, it is
Yeah.
very imperative for you to ask the important questions in the beginning.
Yeah.
That it doesn't mean that there won't ever be any secrets. It's just that at least you covered the basics. At least you covered the basis
Mm,
and saying, okay, at least I did my part by asking you, and I gave you the opportunity to tell me. Also, just always know that whatever secret you have to tell a person, make sure they can handle it too. That's why we all ask, can you handle the truth? Because some people
mm,
don't have the maturity level to handle what you have to tell them. It all depends on what it is. It is. I know we talk about infidelity a lot, but if you, whatever secret that you have growing up, maybe you used to be into girls and now you're not, or you used to be into guys and now you're not. Maybe you were very bad with your money, or you were homeless at one point, or you know all these things that you probably are embarrassed or ashamed of, that happened before you met this person. Don't hold it in thinking that, okay, if I tell them, then they're not going to ever want to be with me. If you
mm.
tell them and they don't want to be with you, then that's on them. And then
Yeah.
it's time for you to move past that, heal from that, and ask God to reveal who the person who's going to be able to handle that truth, because everybody can't handle you and everything that comes with you. We're not all
Mm-hmm.
perfect. And we all have things in our lives that we have done or been through. And when you try to keep that in and not tell a person, um, it just adds more deceit, more lies, and you're just
Yeah.
holding stuff in. And you don't ever want to be somewhere and someone says, "Oh yeah, I did that." And you're like, "What? Like what? What? I didn't know." Or you don't ever want that to be the situation. So it's like, just be honest. And as you're getting to know someone, if you're in the dating scene right now, just make sure you observe whether or not this person can handle the truth yet. And if they can't handle it right now, just keep getting to know them until they can, because you can always tell based on how they respond in certain situations. You can always be like, oh, what do you think about somebody who had 5 bankruptcies, and it's like, stuff like that, or just,
Five.
yeah.
Wow.
I just put that out there. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I
you
know. I
know
know.
but yeah, so just
Yeah.
it's just being honest up front. And if you're married, whatever the secret is, if you have a secret bank account, if you have a secret kid, you want to get that information out there right away, because you don't want that to harbor any kind of resentment towards you from your partner, or
Yeah.
even have it go to divorce. If you go ahead and cut that off right away, cut that lie off right away, and let your truth marinate your marriage, then it will be better. But because
Right.
if you try to make something work and it's a whole bunch of secrets, then it's not going to work, because someone's always going to be the brunt. What's the word? Someone's always going to not get the whole you. Like, the whole you is not
Right.
out there. There's a secret. You're not giving
Right.
that person the whole you. So yeah,
Yep.
be honest, open, and transparent with each other.
Honest, open, and transparent. Okay.
Hot, 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 hot.
Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Be hot, everybody.
Be hot.
As I am in this baking sun right now, um, I'm only out here because my kids are still home from school, and
Right.
so they
And
done
so
took
yeah.
over the house. It will be better in the future. But anyhow, um, last thoughts, scriptures of the day,
Oh yeah.
and we're gonna close it off for you all.
Okay.
I'll go with mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh, 1 Peter 3:10-12 says, "For whoever desires to love life and see good days, let him keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. Let him turn away from evil and do good. Let him seek peace and pursue it." Pursue peace, y'all. "For the
Yes.
eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are upon their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil." And I just want to say one thing here, because people want to use this to like be judgmental about people and what they're
Right.
going through in their life. I
Right.
think the face of the Lord being against those that do evil is like when like when scripture talks about God's face is on you, you're
Hmm.
receiving blessings, you're receiving favor. When you're doing things that are evil, like you're not bringing good into your life, you're not allowing the opportunity for blessings to come. You are putting yourself into toxic situations that breed nothing but more and more hardship. And so you are the one who's putting yourself in that situation. It's not that God
Right.
doesn't love you and God doesn't want you to help, but you keep putting yourself into the bad, and you're going to keep getting bad. I think that's what it means when it says God's face is turned away from you. So try to do good. Try to do good. And
Right.
you're going to have more good that's cultivated in your life. That's what I would say.
Right. That's good. That's good. My scriptures are people who conceal their sins will not prosper, but if they
Woo!
confess, and turn from them, they will receive mercy. That's Proverbs 28:13. And then, therefore, confess your sins to one another and pray for one another that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous
Mm,
person has great power as it is working. James 5:16. And so both of those to
mhm.
me, I know sins, we're not saying that you're out here committing adultery and that's the only thing you're doing. And but to me,
I know we didn't focus on that a
right,
lot.
right. But to me, a sin in a relationship is a lie. So if I am lying and I'm keeping a secret from you that will negatively affect our relationship, then I am sinning against our relationship. I'm sinning against our love. I'm sinning against the purpose of our relationship. So if I confess it to you, then the other person who should show mercy, they may not show you mercy right away.
Yeah,
But if
yeah,
I'm confessing it to you, then they should show mercy. And then if they confess it to you, then you should also show mercy. And then with that mercy, you're supposed to pray for one another. I think that's the key thing in that verse is praying for one another that you may be healed. Not only for
mm,
that person to be healed from the secret that they were holding, but that your relationship can be healed because the other person who was done wrong, who was done wrong to, they also have to heal from that as well. They also have to heal from hearing that secret or whatever
right.
that was done. And I want to say this, just because they don't know your secret and you know theirs does not make you better than them. I mean, so because they're revealing a secret
Mm,
to you, you need to remember that at all times. That's why I say you need to give them mercy, grace and mercy, because they don't know your secret. And that's like for anybody in any situation.
right.
They say, don't, what's the scripture, Pastor, about the eye, and don't
Oh
look
yeah, don't be talking about the speck in someone else's eye
right,
when you got a big old two by
right. You got a
four
whole,
in
yeah,
your
in
own.
your eye, in your own eye.
Mm-hmm.
And just because right now yours is invisible and I can't see it does not mean it's not there. It's
Right.
there. So that's
It's
why it's good
there.
for us to show mercy, give grace, and pray for one another so that our relationship can be healed and the other person can be healed, and then seek out couples therapy and couples counseling so that you can keep your relationship strong and going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Blessings.
Um, my
You want to say
quote
that
for the
quote?
day,
Yeah.
yeah, my quote is love cannot make a home where lies and secrets sleep.
Mm,
So, I forgot to write down who said that, but
Well,
yeah, love
point.
cannot make a home where lies and secrets sleep. So if to me, if there is no trust, there is no love. Well, I say romantic love. There's got to be love as far as the godly love. Love is patient, love is kind.
Mm,
That love. But love
yeah.
cannot make a home. It's constantly moving. It's constantly like, okay, can I be here? Can I not? Can I be here? Can I not? Because lies and secrets are taking up all the space.
Right.
And so you
Right.
got lies and secrets in the bed, and love is trying to be in the bed, and love is like, I can't be here. I am not equipped to be in a threesome. I
Yeah.
cannot be
I'm.
here.
This is not no what
No,
is it?
no,
A polyamorous situation.
right. No,
Right.
we can't. No, lies and secrets cannot be here in order for me to reside and for us to have a successful relationship. So if you want
Right. Right.
your home, which is your relationship, to have love and for love to make its home in your relationship, you need to get rid of the lies and the secrets because the two cannot be, all three of them cannot be there together and for you to have a harmonious and successful relationship. That's
Right.
mine.
Right. Right.
I can't remember who
Facts.
said it.
Facts on
Yes.
facts.
Facts on fakes.
But it was
Facts
wise.
on
Yeah.
fakes. But it
All
was
right, y'all.
wise. I can't remember what it was. But thank y'all so much for tuning in for another episode of The Way Love Goes
The Way
podcast. I'm
Love
about to say
Goes podcast. Yeah, talking up
we
with
thank
Tierra Monique.
y'all.
Go check that
I
out
know
as
about
well,
this.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Go
Thank y'all
check
so
that
much
out.
for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow, comment. And until next time, that's
That's the way
way love
love
goes.
goes. Oh
Bye, you guys.
yes. All right. Peace. Peace. Love. Love.
Bye. Here was doing a lot of stuff.